to We Kill Monsters, the weekly Dungeons and Dragons game that we stream, well, me and my friends stream on the internet for your enjoyment, hopefully. If you've been tuning in, especially thanks to Min's sort of TikTok growth hacking that he's been sending people our way, welcome, and hope you've gone back and watched some of the earlier episodes so you don't feel so lost with where the plot's going, because the guys are sort of halfway through an adventure. The Rime of the Frostmaiden from Wizards of the Coast, that's what we're playing. It's the latest full-size adventure from the people that make Dungeons and Dragons. And because we're playing remotely, we're using a cool service called Sirenscape to synchronize our music. You probably can hear some wind and sort of blizzard sounds, and we're all hearing it as we play thanks to this cool service. So if you want to do that, go to sirenscape.com and check them out. In particular, I've loaded some really cool music from a composer called Travis Savoy, who's given us permission to use it on the internet. Just mentioning his name, no fee or royalty or anything like that. So thank you, Travis.
Hey, I was just thinking we could get a much better presentation of Min's Mac fan sounds if you loaded them into Sirenscape. Then we'd get a more consistent.
Yeah, just make it part of the ambient noise.
Just have us find a jetpack item at some point, and then we have a canon reason for why that sound is playing all the time.
Absolutely.
Excellent. I think I forgot to rename the episode
gets
number.
Wings eventually.
All right. So, last we left Tier 4, the adventuring group, comprised of Caliban, the paladin, Durbek, the barbarian, Oreo, the rogue, and Akeem, the sorcerer. They had been wrestling with the complications of having partially saved the settlement of 10 towns from an evil sort of dark dwarf, they're called Duergar for those that are not Dungeons & Dragons familiar, incursion using a dragon, a mechanical dragon that destroyed half of the towns. And they had to figure out a way for the survivors to cope with the invasions from orcs and from the bitter cold and lack of food. And they much prefer fighting monsters to that kind of political intrigue. But on their way to one of the towns, the town of Goodmead, they'd encountered a band of orcs and had a very brief, compared to what I thought would be, they seemed to dispatch them rather quickly, fight, but realized that there are definitely some things afoot in the tundra that the citizens of the destroyed East Haven might have to wrestle with. And that's where we left you guys. So Tier 4, what would you like to do?
Are we not heading back into East Haven?
Yes, that's it. But between game sessions, you might have changed your mind. You can see East Haven. It's very close. A few hundreds of feet away, but not too far. It's in the distance. And you were going to head back, and you had some plans.
Yes, I think we head back and execute our plan of take them over to Bryn Shander and then go rescue them. Because I think we have to deal with this ice goddess thingy person.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yeah, so Operation Dunkirk, yeah.
Where is this Dunkirk you speak of, Durbek?
It's a long way away. You wouldn't know it.
Oh, okay. Very good. Yes. You have to tell me of this Operation Dunkirk sometime. I will be interested in it. But yes, I think operation of removal of East Haven residents.
It's actually it's just Operation Kirk, but it's done now, so that's why we call it.
Okay.
Is it an operation of overacting?
That's coming later.
Okay.
The lives of 400 East Haven residents hang in the balance. Oh, sorry.
That's correct. Durbek, you're my friend.
Are we doing Shatner kind of? Excellent. Is he in that movie? Is it? I haven't seen it.
No, it's just because we're Dunkirk. So Captain Kirk.
Got it. Sorry.
I was riffing. I apologize.
No, very good. I just didn't click. But you spur on your dog sleds and you enter back into East Haven. It's now evening because it took 4 hours to get there, a couple of hours, and then 4 hours to come back from Goodmead. And everyone's hunkering down indoors because it's cold and most of the houses are destroyed, as you well know. Do you head to the town hall, or?
Yep.
Okay. You head to the town hall and you see guards posted outside. This is, part of the plan that you guys came up with, Utka. So there's definitely sort of a minimum of 2 guards on each door. The main door has 4 guards, and they greet you, and sort of with a mixture of reverence and a little bit of fear. You notice they seem to be like opening the door very quickly, especially as Akeem walks past.
So they should, with a prince of the realm. Yes.
You head in, and in the main hall, you see at the large trestle table that you guys had been planning, sort of the rebuilding of the town. There's Atka and a few of the other people, and Velen's also downstairs having a word, and they're kind of having a dinner. They're having a supper of some sort.
Is Velen just Vellun? Sorry, Dre, it's a trivial question.
I will spell it in the chat for you.
Thank you.
I think it's 2 N's. Let me double check, actually. But I think it's like this. I'll go grab it again from the...
Thank you.
So we walk in and go, well, greetings, fellow East Haven Town Council members. We have come back from Goodmead, and it is all but destroyed.
And just a few bits of murmuring and between people, and says, any survivors?
They seem to have all gone to Brinshander. We encountered one of the guards from Goodmead who was just doing a quick recce and make sure everything was okay, and then he was a he, wasn't it?
Yes.
He was going back to Brinshander.
And Salazar sort of pipes up, that is the sensible approach. I would probably say there's not many defenses there, and they might not even be aware of the dragon's demise until they reached Brinshander and heard it from the town speaker there.
Yes.
So take a seat. Break some bread, have some ale, and he sort of gestures, and one of the kobolds comes running with a sort of a big tray of drinks and puts it down on the table.
Oreo is pacing, and he's pacing, and he goes, well, I don't know if I'm speaking for my compatriots, but I think we have thought about this on our 8-hour journey back and forth from Goodmead, and we think that probably the most sensible option is to take the survivors from East Haven to Brinshander, because we cannot guarantee their safety here, and then ourselves and Velen, if that is acceptable, go and try and stop the endless winter.
And some of the villagers kind of like sort of seem very interested, and they whisper quickly between each other. They kind of...
We intercepted a raiding party of really quite surprising strength, not far from the town of East Haven. And it's made us rethink our idea of security here.
And sort of Atka leans forward and says, very well, but how do you propose we move these people? The reason they didn't head over was because they didn't think they could make it.
How many boats do we have?
Intact? Not many. The pier was fairly damaged. There's a few, but the lakes are sort of half frozen over.
I think we should make sleds and those things that aren't sleds, but you can pull behind, those simpler things whose name's escaping me right now. That we could. Yeah, that's not the word, but to put the most injured on, and let people rotate on and off of riding. We might have to spend a day or two trying to construct some things that would work, but I think we need to work out some kind of plan like that.
Very well. Myself and I forgot the name of the elderly man.
Dawn.
myself and Dorn can see to that. We have a few old carpenters and fishermen amongst us that we were planning to do the rebuild with. If we put them to task on the transportation, they might be able to come up with a few decent things we could drag.
We had planned to pay a visit to that ship as well, didn't we?
And
yes, but we have to go through Bryn Shander to get there, I think.
Right.
So Atka gives you a look.
Yes, Edgar. Well, we will discuss interfrastically.
Wait, was that supposed to be a secret?
No. Just.
She had told you in confidence by whispering in your ear.
Oh, I thought we were alone with Atka. Never mind.
You're at a table. There's like a bunch of people. It's the Great Hall. There's other people like sort of eating and.
My mistake. I probably wouldn't have said anything.
So what say you, Town Council of East Haven?
Well, we defer to you, good sir. You've been so helpful, and quite frankly, we trust your leadership. And if you say that it's dangerous, and you feel like you can take us safely to Bryn Shander, we will risk it. Under your stewardship, we will risk it.
Well, we could protect you on the way there. You see, if we need to go off and stop the endless winter, we can't protect you here. And I think that's probably the wisest course of action. Would you agree, my fellow compatriots? And he looks at all the rest of you.
I nod.
Same.
So, a meal tonight, and then we plan tomorrow, and then how about that?
Very well. I shall spread word.
And I whisper to whoever's nearest me. I said, should we have a little quiet word with Velen about our plans? And if we need a boat, maybe we should discuss with Utka about coming with us to help us sail said boat, because I am no sailor.
I think the lakes are frozen between here and there. I think it's going to have to be over land.
No, but when we get to the Sea of Moving Ice, because we have to go somewhere with Velen, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Sorry. Yes.
I don't know about you, Durbik, but my sea legs are a little rusty.
Yes. Happier on the snow.
I'm no expert, but I have dabbled back in Waterdeep.
Good, well, I'm not a fan of sailing, says Oreo a little bit nervously.
Akeem, you can see, is very uncomfortable around large bodies of water. It's not a thing that Dragonborn are fond of.
As the evening sort of drags on a bit, a few of the people sort of peel off to go to bed, and you're left with just sort of Atka, Salazar, and Velen. Drinking and eating. But unless you've got something, unless you want to do the whole talk to Atka or Velen separately, we can move on to an evening's rest.
Yeah, we'll do an evening's rest. We'll talk to them in the morning.
Very well.
Oreo, and all those papers you drew up, did you get an inventory of horses and things like that?
I think I did, didn't I? Because I did spend 2 days doing everything, Dre.
Yeah, you would have sort of a kind of a idea, but a lot of it would have been taken by the people that fled. So there's not many, in terms of any kind of useful beast, there's not very much left. There's a few personal kind of goats, things, like chickens and things that people had in their own homes, the ones that weren't destroyed. There's a few of that, bit of that. And I would say there's some, maybe 3 horses that Torga was kind of keeping, as well as her team of sleds, which is, I think there's 2 or 3 sleds with dogs. Let me double check.
Yes, the problem with chickens is to pull a reasonable weight, you have to hitch so many of them together that it becomes unwieldy.
Yeah, 3.
Yes, that's the problem with chickens. Just that, nothing else.
Well, I remember the treatise of Gonzo, who wrote a very interesting treatise on the use of chickens, but I can't remember it.
So Tortorga's caravan was 3 dog sleds, each with 6 friendly sled dogs.
And we have 2 sleds that belong
to Velen.
And we had some dog sleds that belonged to us before. Did we lose those?
You kind of had you let them go and ran away because they were exhausted whilst you were chasing the dragon. You haven't looked for them.
Okay.
Where was that? That was East Haven.
I think you reached East Haven, undid the harness and let them go, and then you were picked up by Velen's sleds and went to Tourmaline.
We need to hunt for our doggies.
Yes.
I will before my long rest I will go out and see if I can find our hounds.
Okay. Roll an animal handling check for me.
Tiddly pish. Mm-mm. 17 plus 2, 19.
19. You call and you sort of, call out the names of the dogs, and you sort of spend some time going about town. And with a 19, you manage to find 2 of your original team of dogs.
Which pets do I find the chefs or the sweeties?
The one of each, sort of the leader of each dog team, because they were better trained. They were the ones that kind of there was a reason why you put them in charge. So they've stayed behind and waited. The other ones weren't being fed or looked after, so so far you can't find them.
Okay.
So I will speak with animals.
Okay. Do you remember the names of the lead dog for each sled?
Licorice and Fieri.
Licorice and Fieri. Which one are you speaking to? Dervik? Sure.
Fieri, I think.
Okay.
Hey. How's it going?
Better now, sir. We missed you.
We have got a great run lined up for you guys.
Oh, that's exciting.
But we need to find some more dogs. We need to find the rest of your teams or any other dogs that you've seen wandering around town while you've been here. Do you think you could help us find them?
Oh, I can try. I can try, sir.
Would it help for me to come with you and you lead me and I'll bring some treats or something, or can you just convince them on your own?
I don't know. Maybe treats. Treats are good.
Yeah, let's go together. All right.
I'll go with Durbik.
All right. Roll a survival check with advantage. One of you, or the dog, whichever one you feel like.
19.
19.
I'll roll with that one.
Okay. So it takes you a good part of 3 hours, and using sort of Fieri's sort of sense of scent, you're able to find a few of the dogs, enough to build up one more team. So another 4 dogs, 3 from the sweetie team and 1 from the cooking team.
So we have licorice, toffee, hazelnut, and caramel, and then Ferrari and Ramsey.
Okay. But of the other dogs, you see no trace, and the trail's gone cold.
So if we take all the other equipment off the sleds and we hitch up all the dogs and horses that we can find to sleds, how many people can we carry in the sleds?
You have 3, 4, 5. You have 5 sleds that you already have, and each can take about. Well, each dog can. 1 second. Let me do the math. Each dog team can drag between 1,000 and 2,000 pounds worth of cargo. Well, I'd probably say 1,500 because the sled weighs 300 on its own. So between people and supplies, you kind of have, depends how big they are, you can kind of average it out. But I would say in terms of space on each sled, normal people, you can probably fit 4 plus a driver, maybe 6, depending if they're a bit smaller. If they're large, then maybe a bit less per sled. So let's say best case scenario, about 30 people, not including the drivers.
Does that leave us with any additional horses that are not?
The horses I didn't attach to the sleds. I guess you could attach them, but there's not enough room for them to carry more, so it will be wasted.
So we'll need to build some rough sledges or travois to pull people behind. Yeah.
Okay.
So and hook up to the horses.
Okay. Go ahead. If you're not going to do anything else this evening, go ahead and take a long rest.
Cool.
I will. So we've already had one long rest, right?
No, that's the evening.
Because Durbik and I were out hunting the dogs, so.
Okay, sorry. Thank you for the clarification. Just preparing my spells for tomorrow.
Cool.
And I think I remember 60 to 80 refugees in East Haven. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, it's about 60 or 70 people all in total. That's the people. I would say, let's say 70, in terms of sort of citizens plus the guards. The guards, you have about 2 dozen. Actually, you're down 1 that got frozen somehow. But as you wake up and come to consciousness in the morning, you actually woken up by the hustle and bustle downstairs, and the voice of Atka is kind of booming, and you can also hear sort of the faint screeching and sort of running around of all of the Velen's kobold, clearly packing stuff and moving stuff around and making a racket as they bump into people and things.
Shall we go and speak to Velen first?
That sounds like a plan.
Very well.
As you sort of walk into the corridor upstairs and sort of walk towards her bedroom, you see many, like 2 or 3 kobolds darting in and out, carrying her stuff. Her door is like slightly ajar, and as you walk past and have a quick look, you can see her scribbling something at her desk. Ah, tier 4. Come in.
Oh, thank you.
We are ready to leave?
Not yet, I think. We need probably a day to get everything sorted and build the things that we need to do, I'm assuming. But
Very well. Have you secured food for our journey and for the dogs?
Well, we have some supplies that Thorla, is that her name? Torga had laid aside. We have the cauldron. And between the 2 of those, I'm hoping that will get us through the journey.
And we can hunt along the way, I think.
Ah, very well. So we can take the cauldron with us? And
Yes.
Yes.
excellent.
Velen, where do we need to go?
From what I gather, via the best transportation is that Angajuk that you guys discovered.
Right.
And that is, and she kind of puts out a large parchment map and kind of like opens it up on her, and sort of takes it over to her sort of eating table, personal sort of little eating table, and lays it out for you guys to have a look. And you can see sort of a map of Icewind Dale with sort of locations and things and little markers and a few things that clearly she's been kind of adding to the map, including the location of where you pointed out was the lost spire of Netheril, the tower where you discovered Zan. And she points to the edge of the sea of moving ice in a particular sort of spot and says, as far as I understand, this is where we will find Angajuk's bell and the pier from which you can call him if you wish to be transported by him. The only other place I'm aware of that might have a ship for us is here, and she points much higher up on the map. This is the location of a maximum security prison for the most dangerous criminals of the Sword Coast. I'm not sure that is the best place, but should we fail in finding a ship, we might find one there.
And we're heading, Aurea says nervously, heading out into the sea of moving ice to find this book, correct?
Yes. Once we secure transportation, there is an island somewhat off the coast, a few days' journey by sea, where this book with a very powerful enchantment to break the glacier apart is hidden. And where I suspect that bitch took my orb.
Oh.
And I missed, where's the pier with the bell to summon the whale?
It's on the map that last time we got.
I did send it in the text chat, but I will...
It's fine. I can get the text.
Angajuk is about here-ish.
Okay.
And... Oh, sorry. There we go.
Yeah.
the
And
south.
from what Atka told you, the ship was somewhere here.
Yeah.
Right.
And Atka would have explained that you would find the ship. You should be able to walk to the ship. It's stuck in the ice, but there is enough of a pathway between the blocks of kind of bobbing sort of icebergs and bits of sort of ice sheets that you could walk across. Probably not with dogs. You could leave the dogs and then sort of walk out onto the ice, but it's not very far in terms of.
And this is the ship that supposedly got the ale inside of it, or
It might still have some supplies, according to Atka.
Oh, and Velen knows about this ship, or this is an out of character question?
Unless you've told her, no, she doesn't.
Okay, cool.
So Brent, then ship, then pier, then
That would
prison.
be the best. Velen.
Are you saying this out loud so she hears the word ship?
No, I
Okay.
thought that was out of
I don't-
character.
I don't. I'm not aware that we need to be keeping secrets from Velen.
There's another ship there.
Well, I don't think it's in saleable condition, but it might have supplies that would be helpful.
Oh, very good. Very
The
good.
state of its disrepair remains a mystery. I personally am hopeful it may be not beyond saving.
Ooh,
Which leads
very
me to my
good.
question. If we could get it working again, would you be able to, and I use air quotes, raise a crew?
And she like smiles. Well,
Because I have wanted to be Davy Jones since I could walk.
I like the way you-
I would need raw materials, but that is not beyond my powers.
Well, there's a giant pile of dead orcs just outside the town.
Akeem is very confused by all these quotation marks because he's not used to seeing that before.
Actually, I'll genuinely ask her, will orcs suffice?
Well, they're essentially puppets, so kind of. But unless they know how to sail, I would need to basically maneuver them and control them, and I am not a sailor.
All right, second
With the
question.
pirates.
How many sailors did we lose in the dragon attack? I'm not asking.
and maybe there's pirate bodies left.
Possibly. If we get attacked by pirates, we'll keep the corpses.
If we get attacked by undead pirates, we'll try not to hack them up too much.
What a sentence. But I suppose it's a moot point if the ship isn't repairable. I'm just trying to think.
Visosi, where is it? Is it on the way? Because I would hate to lose time and for no reason.
I point to where it should theoretically be on. Like we have a map in this room,
Yeah.
I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
I point to the theoretical area.
Very well. From what I can see, if we leave from Bremen, it would be on the way.
Yes.
Whereas if we were leaving from the Dwarven Valley, I think you guys said you wanted to go back to the Dwarven Valley? But if we leave from the Dwarven Valley, it would be the long way around.
Well, we have to go to Bryn Shander, don't we?
And Brynshender is
South.
towards the Dwarven Valley, correct?
No. It's
No.
Okay, then. Do we need to go to the Dwarven Valley? What is our business there?
Nothing. It was if we were going to protect East Haven with dwarves,
Yeah.
but now as we're not protecting East Haven with dwarves.
So last that I recall, Dre and Nora walked off into the snowstorm, pretty much.
Yes. So you would have seen her back at dinner. She would have been quite quiet, unless you guys decided to talk to her. She would have just kind of kept mostly to herself. She wouldn't have been like completely silent. Would have joined in maybe on a couple of jokes, but a little bit more reserved than you're used to seeing her. But you had obviously when you woke up this morning, you've gone straight to Velen, so you haven't seen her yet.
I don't know if there's a dwarf to dwarf connection, Derbick, but perhaps you should speak to Nora.
Could speak to her again, yes. Yeah. So, Nora.
You head down, and she is helping. So when you head down, what you see is Atka sort of commanding, like as many of the able-bodied people. They've stripped away all the furniture from the main hall, and they're trying to build out of doors, out of broken carts, out of barrels, things that can be dragged behind animals either by animals or by people for those that can't move fast enough. And they're turned into a workshop, and you can see Nora is there helping with that as well.
Nora, could I have a quick word?
Yes, Turbik. Indeed.
Let's walk.
All right. And she follows you. Where do you take her?
We'll just go out, and we're in the town hall, right? So we'll just go in the square out.
Okay.
So the situation here is a lot worse than we thought. Good meat is essentially gone. There's worse things in the tundra than we expected.
Aye.
And so we've got this new plan for taking these people to East Haven.
Yes, I was trying to help. It sounds like a good plan, Durbik.
Are you willing to come with us on this journey?
I will definitely help to take these folk to Brinchander, but I was thinking I might part ways with you, kind folk, and go back to my own clan and see if they need me. It has been a difficult period, and now that the Durgar threat is gone, I feel like they need me.
I have a strong desire to go back to the Dwarven Valley myself. Some of our experiences have made me rethink some of my history related to the clans. But I think I have to attend to other things first.
Oh, well, you'd always be welcome. Sorry, accents are merging in my head. You'd always be welcome at our hall. My uncle would be more than happy to have you join us.
And as we travel to East Haven, I think on where you can have the most impact, because we're going to raise the winter. We have a lead.
And she sort of stops and kind of looks at you, but how likely is that? It sounds like powers beyond our control. And
we haven't failed anything we've tried yet. how likely was it we could have defeated that dragon and driven off the Dwergars, right?
Aye. That is true, I would say.
We must have hope. And we need good dwarves involved in the struggle. So I recognize your desire to go back to the valley. I completely understand, and if that's what you need to do, I'll support it. But as we travel to East Haven, give it some further consideration.
You make a good case, Durbek, but I'm afraid for... I've come to really like you folks, but you straddle a line of what is right that I find somewhat uncomfortable, and I'm afraid of what it will do to me, as I do not wish to fight the group, as that would endanger our mission, and yet some of the choices you've made I cannot abide by. And if...
So I think that's a completely valid perspective, and I would encourage you to travel with us a few more days, weeks, and let's see if you see a change in our behavior. Because the experiences we're having are changing the group as well.
Aye. Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Bad charisma. 14.
Okay. Let me think on it.
Yeah, that's
I
all I
won't give
ask.
you an answer just yet.
That's all I ask. It's too early, but maybe maybe you'll see a sign as we're getting these refugees to safety.
Maybe. All right, let's finish helping. We need to get this done.
Yeah.
She sort of heads back in. Okay, that might have helped. But I would say, do you guys have anything else you want to do rather than just kind of getting everyone ready and heading off?
While
Yeah?
we're getting ready, I'll take the time, just so I don't inflict on anyone else's time, to just cast Find Steed. This time I will have Trailblazer take the shape of an elk. Oh,
Okay.
nice. With the same black coloration with the flaming head.
I'd like to speak to Utka, please.
Atka? Yeah,
Utka.
sure. Do you, like, she's in the middle of kind of organizing everything. You take her aside? Do you talk up to her in the hall, or?
I sort of, when she's got a break during the day, and at some point when she's alone,
Mm-hmm.
grab her, not interrupting her flow. As it were.
And you find her in sort of her room. I guess she's made her bedroom what used to be the speaker's office.
I'm sorry for disturbing you.
Not at all. Come in, Oreo. What can I do for you?
I don't know. My experience and my intuition tells me that you're a good person, Utka.
Ha!
Your heart
Well.
is true. And we're on a reasonably dangerous mission. And one of the elements of this mission is we have to cross the sea of moving ice.
Oof, I would not recommend it.
Well, as you can tell, I'm not one worthy of sea legs, as they so lovingly refer to it. I have more legs for walking and climbing than down balancing on the deck of a sailing ship.
And she laughs quite heartily and says, "Yes, your kind generally doesn't like ships, as from what I've seen. But we did have a very enterprising black and white cat on the Duchess." And then after realizing what she just said, she kind of just looks a bit glum.
Oh.
And then she kind of brushes it off. But
But what I'm saying is we, my colleagues at Tier 4, would greatly appreciate your assistance in getting across the sea of moving ice, perhaps re-establishing the Dark Duchess and moving it off if it's saleable, and if not, perhaps using Angajuk to get to where we need to go.
Well,
I think everyone in the Icewind Dale needs to end the winter and the suffering, you included. Perhaps you would aid us? He says sort of plaintively and almost does a Puss in Boots sort of...
little eyes like...
Yeah.
And she looks at you and goes, well, I don't think you're going to move the Dark Duchess anywhere. Have I explained where it is?
Yes, but I'm no sailor, as I said, so I'm not... I'm not aware of these things.
Well, unless you've got a dragon to pull it out or, about 300 people with tools, I think it's staying where it is.
But you said there might be some supplies there.
Yes, there should be maybe some stuff left. The food will be gone. The food was gone.
Yeah, but we never know. But
you might find useful things, including rum. There was quite a bit of rum left, although... And she's kind of fighting something. If the captain's still alive, he might have drank some of it. Do be careful. You might want to announce yourself.
Good. Well, but would you come with...
Can I
use my name? Well, you're not there.
Okay, sorry.
Unless you follow, you're not there.
No, I wouldn't have. Sorry, I misunderstood.
I'm not going back out there.
Not to the Sea of Moving Ice with us? Would you not aid us?
Onto the sea? Great. Onto the ice? No fucking way.
Then, if not that, I have a second charge for you at camp.
You did save me from that prison, but there is a limit to my gratitude. What is the favor?
Well, you established yourself here in East Haven and being a central figure and de facto captain of the guard. We can't take the cauldron with us on our journey. I want you to secure it and keep it safe, because a number of people will try and steal it, use it for their own ends, and it is East Haven's.
Very well. So long as I can keep our new town guard on my side, that should be doable.
I leave that in your capable hands, but thank you.
No, not at all. Do be careful out there. I'm not one to normally abandon ship.
I understand. Would you suggest that we just skirt the Dark Duchess?
Go in, get out quick. If there's nothing useful, then leave it. Don't. I wouldn't spend too much time there.
Very well. And he says, what? And as he's about to leave, Oreo turns back and goes, what was the cat's name? The Tabaxi's name? I'm assuming it's a Tabaxi.
No, she meant an actual cat.
Okay. What was the cat's name?
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, very quickly.
Princess Consuela.
Consuela? I'll go with Consuela. I like it.
Well.
Banana hammock. Last name. Just saying.
And I will say, well, I shall raise a glass in Consuela's memory. We
Thank
cats
you,
must stick together. And he walks out. And then I relay that to the rest of Tier 4.
Cool.
Then I'm done. So.
Okay.
I say to Oreo, don't worry, Akeem's scarier than anything we're gonna meet out there.
Oh no, I'm not worried about the meeting the creatures. Just, Caliban, I have to say, I don't like water.
Reasonable.
Well, actually, seas, specifically. Rivers, not so bad. But seas?
Tell you what. Once we get to the sea, I may have an insurance policy. I will try to see if I can have Trailblazer take the shape of something that can swim, and he'll be under strict instruction to prioritize your rescue. Should things go south.
Okay, I greatly appreciate that. Yes.
DM, could I have Trailblazer take the shape of like a leopard seal or a hippocamp or something?
So long as it's within the challenge rating, then yes.
Alright, let's have a look.
There's a few. So seal is challenge 0, so seal is fine.
So I don't know if a seal can... Let's have a look. So, show advanced filters.
Walrus is channel... is challenge 1/4.
Can I ride a walrus?
Yeah, that's fine. I think so.
Alright, so within the challenge rating, got that.
Okay, but it takes sort of the ragtag team the better part of the day to kind of assemble as many kind of transportation devices as they can possibly muster, and everyone to organize. Dawn kind of comes to you guys and quite concerned that 2 people have gone missing and they can't find them.
Well, where were they last seen?
They were in a very small house, or one of the ones that were kind of left still standing, and they haven't found them in there.
Shall we investigate, chaps?
Very well.
Okay. You head over, and Dawn kind of follows you. It slows down your pace a little bit, and he points out the house, and it's a very, very small house. And he says,
They were sleeping in there. It's not much more than a cupboard, but, cozy enough. And we haven't seen them. And we've gone in, and they left all their things, so I don't think... I'm worried.
Can I check for footprints, tracks? What?
Please roll a survival check.
Ooh, 18.
Okay. You find the barest hint of a trail that's been covered a little bit by the sort of the evening snow the night before. And sort of it goes off slightly away from the patch of houses into more towards the tundra and into sort of the wilderness close to the lake.
Oh.
Well, that's not good.
No.
I whistle really loudly and Trailblazer comes galloping around. We should probably move quickly.
I concur. Let us go see what we can follow. And I follow the track with...
Okay. Roll another survival check. And if you're all going and trying to keep an eye on it, you can roll with advantage.
Okie dokie. Ooh, that's going to be a dirty 20.
Okay. You guys follow the trail for about 10 minutes as you get... It seems to kind of go between rocks and outcroppings near the edge of the lake. And eventually, as you turn sort of a corner around the wide side of a rock, trying to not get your feet sort of into the sort of brinish kind of edge of the lake, trying to keep them dry, you go around the other side, and you stumble across 2 solidly frozen corpses. They look very much like the guard that had been frozen.
I'm the only one to have seen this first, right? Like, the others haven't seen it.
They've gone around the other side, so they haven't seen it yet. So they imagine a big rock in the path, and you gone out the wide side, whilst they followed the tracks.
Okay.
And you can meet up again. It's like a 5-10 meter large boulder kind of thing.
But I start calling out to them. Everyone, come here.
Rush round.
Is that you, Rexbeak, making that sound? just Caliban walking to saying that.
It's the elk.
You see a sort of elderly lady and what appears to be a relatively young girl huddled against the edge of the rock with a frozen expression on their face, kind of trying to back away from something, and they're just fully kind of frozen solid, encased in ice.
They
Can
deserve
I-
better than this.
I would like to try and tell how tall the thing that we're backing away from was, based on the angle of their eyes. Can I try to roughly guess that?
Yep. I would say roll an intelligence check. Just a plain intelligence check.
I would like to do
No.
the same.
Very well.
That is a 7.
Where's my intelligence? Yep, there we go. That is a 13.
Okay. Caliban, you think it was, sort of an ogre-sized thing. You're like, clearly they're looking right up there. But to you, Akeem, it's like, I don't know, it seems more like, maybe the size of a person.
How about a
Well, that's
survival
not
check?
good.
Look for other tracks of whatever that thing might have been.
Very well. If you want to try and look around.
I will help.
While they're doing that, I just want to make sure that these people get to rest in peace. So I cast Firebolt to melt the ice that they're in and give them a burial by fire.
Very well. But
18.
once again, you notice that this ice is somehow magically enhanced, and it, even under sort of fire magic, it seems to be resisting any attempts to melt it.
18. Do I have any history, lore of anything that would be doing this to people? This is obviously not normal dying exposure.
I don't think you would.
Okay.
Have I ever
don't think you
encountered
would.
this type of resistance to fire? Oh, sorry.
Once before, last game or the game before, there was a guard that got frozen
Yeah.
just like this.
18 on the tracking check.
You do find signs of you eventually find what might have been lots of footprints. It's kind of all muddled up, so it's actually hard to tell how many there were, but it looks to be human-sized boots, and there's at least a few of them, few different ones, but they're all jumbled up. They don't seem to be walking in an orderly file. They were kind of almost swarming around.
Can I tell where they went after this event?
Yes, off into like the open tundra.
I think we should. I think we don't want whatever this is harrying us on our journey to East Haven.
Yes, but I think we follow it. I think from what we remember, it only comes out at night.
Let's try and go find it.
Well, is that wise?
Does that matter?
I believe our motto is we kill monsters, is it not?
I would rather find it in the day in its lair than deal with it at night attacking our train of refugees.
Well, shall we say that we go out as far as we can without coming, and then come back and turn around to come back? So I don't want to leave the village unprotected.
Yes, absolutely. Not days. We're not going to go days. Yeah.
Okay. Marching order, please, as you walk out into the tundra.
So, Trailblazer in elk form can fit more than one person on his back as opposed to Axebeak form, so I might have Akeem with me on the back just to help speed things along.
I shall
Very well.
ranger it ahead of the pack, so I'll just go ahead. And
Yeah, and
Okay.
all nice and
survival.
cozy.
You follow the tracks, and they keep going. It takes you. Sometimes you kind of you almost lose track of them. But roll a group survival check. So everyone roll a survival check.
Natural 1 for a 5.
Survival 15, natural 14 plus 1.
Okay.
8, 4 plus 4.
Dirty 20.
Okay, that's good because that's 2 successes. A dirty 20. Actually, no, that's a natural. So 1 success. What was yours, Calaman?
15.
Okay, so 2 successes, 2 failures. Okay. So the first half hour, it takes you a while. You keep losing the track and then finding it again. There's been quite a lot of snowfall, so you're struggling a little bit to kind of keep your eyes, especially because these don't seem to be walking into a straight line. They're just kind of meandering. But you continue on the path for half an hour. Still no sign. Do you keep going? Yes.
So my new ranger ability, which I forgot completely. Sorry. I can, if I'm tracking creatures, I can learn the exact number, sizes, and how long they pass through the area.
Okay. Then I would say you. You would have estimated, but even for you, even with this ability, it was kind of hard. It took you a while to come to the conclusion that you think there was 3 of them, at least in the path that went away. Where the lady and the young girl were, it was just almost a jumble. That was hard to actually tell footprints apart. There might have been more there, but the particular path that it went off into that distance, there was 3.
And how long ago did they pass through?
It would literally have been the night before, sort of around dinner time, so 9 p.m., something like that. Like that. That's kind of the beginning of it, at least, where you found the girls. The rest of it is, half an hour, depending on how far you keep going.
I say to the team, we might be traveling for ages. Well, shall we go on for a little bit to see if we find somewhere they stop? But if they just go into the tundra, they might just be wandering around aimlessly.
Yeah, we should definitely make sure we have time to get back before dark.
Yeah.
You continue on into the ice and wind, and I need you all to roll another survival check to see if you can, how long it takes you to do the next bit of track, whether you're slowed down by the difficulty or not.
5.
16. Boom.
Okay.
Natural 20 or 24.
Nice. That natural 20 is 2 successes. Okay.
22.
Very good, and very good indeed, because it takes you another half an hour to reach a point where you think you're finally coming upon fresher tracks, but you're so engrossed in kind of following the tracks that you almost miss that a blizzard is starting. And as you finally, you all look up expecting to see your quarry within sight, you notice that actually the visibility is dropped down, and it's very hard to see very far in front of you.
Would I know if this is natural or is this unnatural blizzard?
Roll a nature check.
Can I do the same, please, as a tundra boy myself?
Oh, that's not good. Natural 1 for a 7.
14.
Okay. You definitely have the heebie-jeebies about this. Like, you feel like there's something a bit funny about it, but, it's not clearly magical or anything like that. But sort of like, I have a bad feeling about this kind of thing.
Would he relay that to us?
Yes.
All right.
I think
Close ranks.
Okay. So, let's have a look. As you hunker down and look around, I need you all to roll a perception check with disadvantage.
3.
10.
Sorry, I'm trying to count. My brain's just gone. 17.
17? Okay.
I rolled low.
Okay. So, as you warily look around and try to find, even like you can't even see East Haven anymore because of, you have visibility to maybe about 30 feet and then it's just pure white. Oreo, your keen cat senses see a little flash of light in the distance.
How far away would I say?
It's because it's just pure white sort of snow. You're not sure, but it's more than 30 feet away.
Okay, I pointed out to the chaps. I go, that way, flash of light, probably the enemy. Stealthily approach.
Another one of those cold light bastards.
Yes.
They're very annoying and hard to kill.
Yes.
Counter proposal. On Trailblazer, I can bull rush them rather quickly.
Very well. I mean, you go for it. I will sneak up to them.
Alright, with Akeem on the back as well, I would like to get into it. I would like to charge the light.
Wait, 1 second.
Charging it as well. So, like, you take the left, I'll take the right. Maybe we'll catch them between us.
I'm gonna transmute a spell when it's ready to attack.
Okay, so Durbik, Caliban, and therefore Akeem, because you're on Trailblazer as well, are rushing towards the light. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, so let me measure distances. Where's my tape measure gone? Ugh, oh well. Okay. All right, and everyone roll for initiative, please. It's gonna take me a second to set this up.
Come on, don't screw me. Yes! 16!
7.
Fuck me. Oh, pardon me.
Oh, okay, ignore that initiative roll. I rolled a 7. That was me accidentally rerolling.
I get to roll with advantage. I rolled a 1 and a 5.
Okay, so. And. I really need a camera guy.
Oh.
Sorry,
Drones,
Durbik, what was the number, Durbik?
7.
7. And Oreo?
19.
19, very well.
I also got 7.
Cool. Okay.
16 for moi.
Sorry, I'm gonna find my tape measure for a second. Where did I use it? I'm gonna have to use the mega ruler instead. That'll be a bit weird, but. You guys are charging, I would say you probably would be 30 feet away. There we go. I'll this back here. Okay. Please bear with us. Your combat's important to us.
Nice.
Only because the Ronin was out of power, so I couldn't switch on the other camera until it was charged.
Huh.
There we go. Stop. Refusing to stop. Come on. Okay. Jesus. All right. So, camera 2.
Oh.
And it is Oreo's turn. But
So how far away do I see that creature yet?
you just see the light in front of
Okay.
you.
So I'm
And you see your friends almost disappear out of view. They're just about like into complete whiteness.
So I'm gonna move. I'm gonna use
Oh,
just track. I'm gonna use my feline agility,
mm-hmm.
double my speed, and go off, sort of going off to an angle, sort of curving around.
Okay, which direction? This one or this one?
That one.
No. Okay. How much?
So that's 60 feet then. And I can technically do it stealthily as well, because
Roll a stealth check, please.
and that's going to be 23.
Okay, good to know. And that's your action and your movement, yes?
That's my move, and I would stealth check, and as a bonus action, can I see the creature?
Yes, just about. You see, you can make out the details of its face and the
Okay.
light coming out of it. It's one of the cold light walkers again.
Bonus action, Hunter's Mark it.
Okay. Very good. And that's your turn, and it's Akeem's turn.
Wonderful. So since fire doesn't seem to work on this dastardly thing, I'm going to use one of my sorcery points to transmute a spell. And he's going to get a dose of Thunderball at the 4th level.
Okay. And you charge up your energy, powering up, and sling your little bolt, and it's sort of, instead of being red, it just looks like a little storm, like a tiny little bead of like lightning and thunder and cloud, and it just almost disappears into this like ice and snow because the blizzard's quite strong. And boom, like with the largest sort of boom of thunder, it hits. Roll your damage, and I will roll my saving throw.
38.
19. So I save, but I still
Lucky
take
Mama
half
Jamma.
then.
You lucky Mama Jamma.
It's 15 plus. So 17 points of damage.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Anything else? You have a bonus action you can do, or you want to move anywhere?
Yeah, I want to move to the right-hand side of... so not to where Oreo is, but the other side. Because I want to almost like create a pincer-like movement so it's harder for the thing to attack all of us.
Okay. There's okay?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. And now it is their turn.
They have a giant elk bearing down on them. I'm hoping they target the elk.
So he's going to move a little bit. So he's within 20 feet. And the others are going to move. I really wish I had my tape measure. I don't know where it's gone. Is that within 25 feet? That's fine. It's going to be... Okay, there.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so the first one that's been hurt by Akeem. First of all, I'm going to say, Caliban, I need you to roll Constitution saving throw. As the light from the thing just zeroes in on the largest thing it can see, which is you on top of the elk, and it shines
12,
right in your
so
face.
I rolled a 12, so 18.
Ooh. Wow. All right, so you're fine. You're not blinded. You like shy away your eyes, and you see little stars, and you're a little like sort of out of it, but you're not completely blinded. So you're fine.
+4 to all saving throws, baby. Oh, speaking of which, that extends to you too, Akeem.
Huh?
As long as you're within 10 feet of me, you have +4 to all saving throws.
And am I within...
You're on the back of the
Not
horse.
currently. No,
Oh,
he
no,
jumped off
because
and
I
went off
moved,
to the side.
I moved.
Oh, I'm sorry, Durbik then, just Durbik. +4 to saving throws.
But in anger, it's going to like sort of charge up, and you see like the light go from white to blue and pulse as it hits you straight, sort of in the chest, Caliban, and you an attack with its cold ray. First attack is god damn it, 11,
Nope.
and second attack is 9. Ugh. Fine.
Does not hit.
Okay, so the one here is going to aim for Oreo with his cold attack. Actually, yeah, no, it's not within 25 feet. Sorry, 20 feet, so I can't use the other thing. First attack is, oh my god, 12. Can't hear you if you. All right, second attack is
Misses.
21,
That hits.
and I'm gonna roll it in D&D Beyond. Suddenly, from on your back, you just feel this icy cold, sort of almost like a dagger, and you take 18 points of cold damage.
Uncanny dodge.
Okay. And the other one's gonna attack Akeem.
Come at me, bro.
That is 14 to hit.
Yeah.
And you take 16 points of cold damage. If you want, you can use Absorb Elements as a reaction.
I was gonna say yeah, because I'd like to try that.
Cool. So suddenly you feel this chill in your back, and you just concentrate, and this kind of warm feeling from inside your heart just kind of warps outwards and kind of suddenly encases you briefly and seems to soak up the cold energy and actually imbue you with that power, and you absorb some of the damage. So you take half damage and your spell's charged up.
So that'll be 8.
So that's the first attack, and it's gonna try it again. And that's a 19, so also hits. Absorb Element's still up, so it's another half.
Yep.
But
Sorry,
it's
what was
22
the-
half.
What was
So the first one's
second
60. Second roll, it hits with a 19, and the damage 22, but you halve it because of Absorb Elements.
roll? Oh, okay, cool.
And
Okay.
it
I'ma
is
bring
Caliban's turn.
Can I reach the one attacking Akeem from where I am? Can I get into melee with that one?
I believe it's a little bit out of your reach, but let's have a look. Unless your movement's 40 feet? No.
Nope. Okay, what about the one attacking Oreo?
What's the movement of the elk, though?
Oh, I'm still on the elk. Oh, the elk has 50.
Yeah, you can charge him with the elk.
Okay, and would that be... Like, can I take my normal actions that turn if I do that?
Yes, and he
Okay.
attacks at the same turn as you if you're on him.
Okay.
The elk. You can
I
do
will
a
say
charge
to
attack.
Durbek, I'll protect Akeem. Deal with this asshole, as I point to the one who was already injured. Which is the one that's right in front of us, right?
Oh. Yeah.
So that's
That
the one that
one-
Akeem hit, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I would like to rush the one that just attacked Akeem, which is the one back over there.
All right.
So the elk moved, let me double check how this works, but, so because the elk moved, at least 20 feet, when it does its ram attack, the target takes an extra 2d6 and must succeed in a DC 13 strength saving throw. So the elk is gonna ram him first thing.
All right. Roll to hit to see if it works.
Nope, that is a 8 to hit.
Misses. The thing, like, the elk goes to hit with its antlers, but it just kind of rips off a piece of the sort of furs that this, what used to be a man, is wearing, and just rips them off. And underneath you can just see sort of bits of bone and dead flesh hanging off, but frozen and sticking to it.
Very well. Bonus action, I will cast Protection from Evil and Good on myself. Any of Celestials, Elementals, Fey Fiends, and Undead have disadvantage against with the attack rolls against the target, which is me. I also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take 2 swings.
Okay. Roll to hit.
That's a natural 19 for 26.
26 hits.
Cool. First level Divine Smite that I'll just roll in D&D Beyond. So for the
Okay.
actual The swing is on the war pick is 9 points of piercing damage from the war pick, non-magical because it's a war pick, and divine smite features and traits. Where is it? And he is undead, correct?
Yes.
Therefore, that's 3d8. Additional 10 points of radiant damage.
Okay.
Second swing. Oh. 13?
13 just hits.
Oh, okay. Another first level Divine Smite. I'm gonna try just finish this guy off. Ten points of piercing damage and an additional 19 points of radiant damage.
Nice. As you take 2 swings and just kind of bat at it, and you're sort of taking huge chunks of both clothing and flesh and bone off, and the particularly deep hits that leave like a deep gash and hole, a little bit of light spills through, like it's just kind of arcing out and shining from additional like bits other than just its face. It's looking pretty hurt. Durbik, it is your turn.
Dre, I didn't announce that I was activating the hammer when I started charging forward. I
That's
would
fine.
have-
I will say you would have.
Yeah,
That's something. Sounds like something Durbik would do.
Bonus action is rage.
Okay.
The one that's ahead of us. I'm attacking him twice.
Okay. At a distance,
Sorry? No,
you are
I'm
attacking it. You're charging fully.
So the first is an 18.
18 hits. As you swing Storner almost like a baseball bat, just aiming for the head.
14 points of damage.
How much? Sorry.
It's 11. It's 13 points of bashing damage, and 1 point of radiant damage.
1 point of radiant. That's that's funny. Okay, cool. That's first attack. Second attack.
Oh, 26.
26 hits.
10 points of bashing damage, 4 points of radiant damage.
Okay, thank you very much. 10 and 4. And with this one, you almost just do like an underswing, like a golf, and you hit it across its jaw, and briefly the hood peels back, and it shines like a light, like it's like a naked sort of light bulb when you took the hit, the what's it called, the thing that goes on top of a light bulb lamp. I forget, the shade. Just kind of suddenly almost blinding you, but you can also see sort of the dark shape of a skull inside the light before the hood flips back and it goes back to being sort of a beam searching for its prey. And it's back to being Orio's turn.
All right, so the one that's in combat with Durbik, I have my short bow drawn. I fire Meepo, my short bow, into that one, and because it's in combat, it's technically a sneak attack, and that's going to be that's going to be a 14. Unfortunately, not so great.
14 hits.
Oh, yes. So that's 8 piercing damage.
Very nice. As the arrow flies straight through, and you hear it clang against its rib cage as it pierces and hits.
11 points of sneak attack damage,
Okay.
and 2 points of Hunter's Mark damage.
Very nice. And it definitely kind of seems to kind of be less steady. There's been some sort of damage on its spine, so it's not as able to kind of walk properly as it
And then
stumbles
I'm
forward.
gonna bonus action stealthy, try and dive into some blizzard so I can't be attacked from behind by cheeky bastard.
Okay. Roll a stealth check.
So that's going to be a dirty 20.
Okay, good to know. Perception. Okay. It is Akeem's turn.
Oh, you better believe it is. Because I'm going to cast Slow. Because why don't we just get the chance to beat the hell out of them?
Nice.
Do you get to choose who that affects?
Yep.
Okay,
I
great.
get to choose up
Carry
to
on.
6. Up
In
to
a 40-foot
6.
cube.
Yep.
40-foot cube within... Okay, so 40 foot is... you can only get one, I'm afraid.
Can I move to the center so then...
They're not within 40 feet of each other.
Damn. Okay. In that case,
So
no, I'm not gonna do slow because it's not gonna be the best use. I'm gonna move to the one that's to the left of Oreo because obviously the other two have got things in hand.
That's your full movement
Yep.
here.
So from there, I cast Fireball at the 3rd level.
Okay. Cool. Let's see if he manages to dodge it this time.
Good luck.
haven't been very lucky with my rolls. Natural 20. Yes.
Mother. You are
So
lucky today. 31.
I am. 31 divided by so that will be 16 points of damage. Whew. As and that when that happens, when the fireball goes off, the sound is deafening, even above the sound of the blizzard, and everyone kind of looks around, and the light is red compared to this kind of cold blue light, and it's kind of almost starting to look like a fireworks show in the rain. If you've ever been to one when it's not good weather on New Year's Eve, when you kind of just see these kind of flashes in the clouds. And it is their turn. So this one with Caliban's going to look at him, roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, shit. Still a 13?
13 total.
Yeah.
You are blinded until his next turn.
Does protection from evil and do anything? No, it does not. Alright, fine.
And he's going to slam you with his sort of open palm, and as you kind of reaches up and the sleeve falls down, you see a hand with sort of rotting frozen flesh and bits of fingers, like finger bones sticking out of some of the digits, and a hole in the middle of the hand as it kind of swats you with all his
Let me
strength.
just check something regarding the blinded condition. So your attack rolls would have advantage, but they're cancelled out by protection from evil and good.
Okay, so I've rolled a 4 for the first attack, and a 4 for the second attack, which even with my +5, I'm not gonna hit you. You're fine. God damn it. Alright, Durbik, you roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
22.
22 passes. So you once again you kind of try to look away and shield your face as the light is trying to find you to blind you, but you're okay. But then it pulses again with that blue cold energy. Actually, no, he's in range with you, so he's going to slam you as well. Yeah, so he's going to start swatting with his hands.
Good.
20, dirty 20.
Definitely a hit.
Cool. So you take 13 bludgeoning damage, and then on top of that 14 cold damage.
Whew.
And the second hit is a 9, so I miss.
Oh, so I have the bludgeoning damage, but not the cold damage, right?
Correct. This guy is looking for Oreo but can't find him, so he's going to close in with Akeem, and you just see him running like it's a zombie movie, but one with the ones where the zombies are fast now. It's like making a beeline for you and looking at you with his cold light. Roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
Yeesh. There you are.
What's the number?
15.
Oh, 15. You pass. You're not blinded.
Yeah.
But he's going to swing twice. 12 plus 17 to hit.
Yeah.
You take 9 bludgeoning damage and 12 cold damage. Is Absorb Element still up? How long does it last? Is it one turn?
Good question. Coming energy. Strongly resistant. It doesn't say.
Oh,
I
I'll
can't
look it up
find
for
it.
you. 1 second.
1 round.
1 round. Okay, so it's no longer up. So you take the full 12 cold damage as well. And he's going to swing at you again.
Yeah.
And that one is 12 to hit. So the second hit misses.
Because I'm down to 4 points.
It is Caliban's turn.
Okay, I will take a swing at disadvantage against the guy in front of me. He was looking rough before I got blinded, right?
Yeah, he's taken quite a few hard hits.
Okay.
He's not looking good.
Well, the lower one was an 11.
11 misses.
I'll swing again. Okay,
Nice.
so 21.
21 hits. Roll your damage.
And I'm pissed off, so second level Divine Smite, an additional 4d8 radiant damage.
All right.
So 9 points of piercing damage from the war pick. 2, 3, 4. 17 points of radiant damage.
Oof. With the second hit, you stave in half of his torso, and now sort of like the ribcage is cracked in, and the arm falls off its shoulder socket, and out of its side, it's now just got a huge amount of light emanating as well, and it's kind of stumbling and trying to keep balance, but you're sort of breaking apart the magic and the ligaments holding it together.
He's still alive?
Yep.
Slam
tough
him,
bastards.
Trailblazer.
Okay.
Trailblazer is going to use a hoof attack. 18 to hit.
18 hits.
It's 2d4, but, you know, every little bit helps.
If you're really lucky.
7.
Oh, I would have loved to say, Trailblazer, how do you want to do this? But you're 1 point off.
I rolled 2 2s and it's +3. God damn it.
Durbik, it is your turn.
I'm going to bust him up with the Black Hammer.
All right.
The first roll is a 14.
14 hits.
So that is 16 points of bludgeoning damage and 1 point of radiant.
Durbik, how do you want to do this?
Just breaking both femurs with a giant sweep below the hips.
Ooh, nice. Just kind of, and it falls and lands flat on his face, and you see the light sputtering, and it goes out.
And then I'll take my move to charge the one that is on Akeem.
Very well.
And I've got 1 attack left for it.
You do.
And that's a 24.
24 hits.
So 15 plus 2. So 17 total.
Okay. Okay. Yep. Cool. And you swing and you hit it hard. It gets rocked. You sort of really ring his bell, but he's still doing quite well for himself. You guys. Sorry.
My goal
Got
is
his
just to
attention.
get his.
Sure. Cool. And it is Orio's turn once again. You're hiding in the snow. I can't hear you.
What I'm thinking. A bonus action, Hunter's Mark, to move it to the new target, which is the one with Akeem and Durbik.
Very well.
And then again, Nepo the short bow comes out, and that's going to be a 24 to hit.
Very well, it hits. As you step out of your sort of mound of snow, lick your fingers to grab an arrow out of your quiver and pull it back and sail it through the blizzard. You can kind of see it in slow motion as it goes through snowflakes on the way over. Roll your damage.
And it's going to do, 7 from the core damage. That's 16 from the sneak attack, and that's 4. So that's 27 points of damage in total.
Wow.
Sorry, how much was the first one?
So in total it was 27.
Yeah, but I've already taken the first bit, so I need the...
So the second bit was 20. So 7 for the first bit, 20 for the second.
I think I did it right. It's down. It was 66 down to 26. Yeah, I think I got it. Cool. Akeem, it is your turn.
Finish him.
So you've never had to do this before. So if you want, you can attack him just per normal. If you were feeling in danger, you can move away, but normally they get an opportunity attack on you as you run away. But you can use your action to disengage, which stops that. But then you can't cast a spell. Does that make sense? If you wanted to do that.
I'm not going to do none of that. What I'm going to do is... I'm furious at this point because I'm nearly dead. I'm going to utilize one of my sorcery points. Actually, hold on a second. Oh yeah, okay. So I think I can do this at the 4th level. Yes, I can. So I'm going to use up my sorcery points. So I'm going to use up all 6 that are left to regain my 4th level slot.
Okay.
And I think I have one last sorcery point left, which I'm going to use to transmute my spell from Burning Hands into Acid Hands.
Oh,
and I'm gonna
okay.
place it directly to the center of that thing in front of me.
Okay. In which case, let me roll my saving throw. I've been doing quite well with my saving throws. Natural 1.
Fantastic.
Roll your damage, 23.
23.
And how do you want to do this?
So, just before I launch the Acid Hands, I look at Durbik, and with the most grinning smile on my face, as you can see a little bit of blood on my chin, like all over the teeth, I now just shower him with the acid, completely disintegrating him from head to toe.
Yeah, and it just kind of like just sort of melting him away, and it's kind of just bits of him are kind of bubbling and smoking in kind of the cold ice blizzard, but you can clearly see sort of this green energy melting him away and fighting the light that's coming out of him until there's nothing left but his boots at the bottom, and he's melted away and gone.
And I can still move, right?
Yes, you can.
So I'm gonna move to the one that's attacking Caliban.
Like within, you can move here. Is that okay?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, so 1 second. Caliban, it is actually... No, it's their turn. So he's got 1 turn. Oof. Alright. It's the start of his turn, so you're no longer blinded, but he's going to try and blind you again. Constitution saving throw.
Come on, muchacho. 15?
15 passes, so you're fine,
my
but he's going
God.
to try and slam you twice again. 24 to hit.
With disadvantage?
Does he have? Oh, he has got disadvantage because of your
Protection from
thingy.
evil and good is still
and you're no longer blinded. Okay.
Yep.
So that's now 22.
Just hits.
Okay, so 22. You take 16 points of bludgeoning damage and 11 points of cold damage as he hits you, like right on the chest. And when his hand touches you, you feel a pulse of cold that runs through your veins, and you feel like your infernal constitution trying to fight it, but it's freezing you from the inside.
So 16. So that was 27. Half of 26 is 13. So I need to beat 13 to keep protection from evil and good up.
Oh yeah, you have to roll your concentration.
19.
So you pass, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Rolling again with disadvantage, and that is... yeah, he misses. Okay. Caliban, it is your turn.
Trailblazer is gonna pop with his hooves and try to shit stomp this guy.
Okay.
Natural 1, never mind. I will shit stomp this guy. Just a regular swing. 11.
11 misses.
Second swing. 12.
Misses.
Motherfucker! That's my turn.
Cool. Durbik, it is your turn.
Just instead.
You're on mute, Bill.
How far away is he?
He is... I really need to find my tape measure.
Sorry.
It's 40 feet away.
40 feet?
Maybe 35 if I can... There we go. So 50... So let's go from 20. That is...
I'm running towards him.
Yeah, 40 feet.
I'm running towards him. As I get within 20 feet, I'm taking 2 throws with the hammer.
Okay, I'll make you go this way. I've recently learned that other people give cover. So I'll make you go out this way so that he doesn't have cover.
I have 35 feet of movement, so I won't get all the way, but I'll get around like that and throw at him. Yeah.
Cool.
16.
16 hits, and unless you can't cause 0 damage, so how do you want to do this?
Right in the face.
All right, and the hammer just goes out, and the head just goes poof, clean off, and you just see kind of a little head land, and it's got this kind of beam of light sputtering around like as it rolls in the snow, and then it kind of fades and disappears.
I hate these guys almost as much as I hate Dwergar. Let's Sundra of them, shall we?
Who's
Here. I collapse a little bit. Look at him go.
I think Min is a little bit more injured than I am. I have a little scratch and scratch there, but I'm good.
I give Ario 10 points of healing from lay on hands, and I give Akeem 25.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, roll a history check. All of you. As you kind of hunker down to try and wait out the rest of the blizzard.
9. 23.
Sorry.
10.
10. So Durbik and Oreo, you recognize these as people you walked past in East Haven. These are some of the people that died during the dragon attack that were brought back.
Oh shit.
That's not okay.
That's not good.
Oh shit.
This is the work of the evil goddess, isn't it?
Yeah, I was willing to give her a break up till now, but now she's crossed the line.
We have to stop this.
Yeah.
Hellish injustice.
I'm assuming you wait out the blizzard?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I guess
Okay.
we'll take the bodies back. The villagers may want to know what happened to them, huh?
Can we just
What do you
tell
think about
them? They look heavy.
Yes, let's tell them.
All right.
And you notice that the bits of corpse that you're looking at are kind of frozen like the ones you've just seen. Similar.
Uh-oh. Does that mean the other ones are going to come back as these things?
You don't know.
I think we might have to go back and put those bodies in the lake
Wait, I think
Oh, no,
I
you
think
burnt them.
put him in a lake of fire, didn't he?
Did you get?
I tried, but there was resistance from the flame, from the ice.
Put them in the lake.
Yeah.
Okay. You wait. The blizzard subsides after about 2 hours, and then once it's gone, you see that you're not that far from East Haven. You can kind of see what's left of its beautiful lights still twinkling.
Convince everyone that a nice clean blizzard. This is a nice thing, right? Like, isn't this great? Don't you love the nice, clean, refreshing blizzard?
Caliban's face is like thunder.
I'm getting used to it, Derbick, but I'm not sure. I would say I can't thoroughly enjoy it currently.
This is not the Mundan weather. I don't like this weather at all.
Let's keep moving.
Yes.
And you make your way back into East Haven, and once you reach the town hall and walk in, Nora looks at you and sort of rushes up to you, Akeem, and casts Cure Wounds. At, if I can actually get hold of it.
Thank you, Nora.
Cure Wounds at 4th level, healing you for 27 points.
That's mighty nice of you, Nora. Thank you. Appreciate
Not
it.
at all. What happened?
We were attacked by exactly by these creatures made of something, and we noticed some of the people that died were turned into these creatures.
Whoa, that is most dire. And you see her stop, says, how many people do you think died during the attack?
I'm not sure. And I turn around to look at the others.
Hundreds.
Oh, if 3 of those did this to you, 100, that is most dire.
Yes.
How long more reach for us to get to Bryn Shander?
Yes. Let's get moving.
And you can see that they're pretty much ready. Everything's been prepared to leave in the morning the next day. But if there's anything you'd like to do or talk to anyone about, otherwise we can have a long rest and see if you guys can take everybody safely to to Bryn Shander.
Good.
I don't think we're gonna make it, but I think we should try.
Okay, so you can all have a long rest. That should heal you back up.
Thank you very much.
But this is good. This is action we're taking in the face of the refugee problem, not just hunkering down and hoping things get better.
Exactly.
Agreed.
In the morning after everyone's getting ready to go,
I guess they're technically not refugees yet because they haven't left their town, but
Salazar tells you that he's warned Duvessa that of the incoming, and they'll try to kind of meet you as halfway with a few guards, but they're worried about sending anyone out at the moment because of they've also been encountering some strange happenings.
And can Utka arrange the town guard around? So we're going to have a sort of a column of refugees. We want the guards kind of patrolling around the outside. Yeah.
So I would say, because of the amount of people you have to protect, I would suggest each of you protects a group, basically. Guards one particular subset of these people, whilst the guards take the front, the rear, and the side kind of thing as in a column, try and protect. Yeah? Yes, Horia?
May I suggest that I scout ahead? So I'm always a bit ahead, so I can sort of scout ahead and make sure and then report back.
Okay.
Just because I'm now I have my lovely little ranger abilities, I can sort of scout ahead, and as Arctic is my favorite terrain.
I've got Trailblazer, so I can basically be on perimeter, just continually lap everybody as we're going along.
Very well. And it takes you quite a bit to organize these people, and you look at them and you're a little bit worried about them. Some of the people, they're pretty old, and some of them are pretty young. You're trying to make sure they don't wander off.
Should we do some drills, maybe, of like what to do in the event of like an attack or something? Like take shelter, stop, drop,
Circle the wagons.
Exactly.
Circle the wagons, yeah.
I'll take some time to basically run them through emergency procedures for the journey.
All right. Roll a performance check.
Hey, actually, it's pretty charismatic. I might. Okay, can I have advantage because of Durbek's help?
Sure.
Alright, first one was a 14, and I'll take the 14. I'm not proficient in performance, so 18.
Okay. Good to know. You go through a few things. You tell everyone like little words to kind of respond to, like to halt or start. You basically create a buddy system.
In the event that the cabin loses pressure, oxygen masks will fall into the ceiling.
Just like that. But at about, I would say, 10 a.m. in the morning, you finally manage to set off the column. And the weather's not looking great. Now, the journey is going to take, I would say, 7.5 hours normally. That's with snowshoes. I would say with the kind of people you're dragging, it would be about more like 10 hours. So it's basically a 2-day journey.
Yep. That's all.
So, first day, I need you all to individually roll a survival check for me.
23.
22.
9.
Got brain going today. 23.
Okay. You march and you drag things, and people trying to keep people's spirits up. Oreo's darting ahead to make sure there's enough funny business going on. Nothing to worry about. And Caliban's kind of going back and forth, just patrolling as quickly as he can with Trailblazer. However, at the end of the evening, when you sort of hunker down and sit down to sort of start a fire to cook and make some food with a cauldron, there's maybe it's 4 people missing from the batch of the trail that Caliban was kind of keeping track of.
Shit. I will go to. All right, who's missing? Like. Talking.
It's kind of hard to do a roll call, like who's missing is. But you think that there was sort of basically it was an old couple.
Oh.
And they were in charge of keeping track of a little brother and sister, to make sure to look after them, but you can't find them.
It's too dark. It's too dark to go trekking through the snow to try and see if we can find them.
I'll just stare out over the icy tundra and just say, "I'm sorry," under my breath.
And I go up to Caliban and tap him on the shoulder and go, "We're saving the many."
Caliban is reassured by this.
You hunker down and hand everyone, the stew, trying to keep morale warm. Atka's, making sure that the guards are on watch. Like she sets up a watch for the night. But you all go to sleep and have a long rest. And it goes relatively uneventful.
I will take a watch as well. I will go.
Same. I was going to say
Me too.
I will cast dancing lights just so the folks aren't terrified of like the dark around them.
Cool. Very good. Durbek, roll a survival check with advantage.
$14.
You prepared and packed as much material as you could to kind of make makeshift sort of shelters for the sleeping rough in the tundra, so that the people don't get too cold at night. So you do a fair job. It's not perfect. There's just too many to do a good job for all of them, but they should survive the night. second. Where is? There we go.
In fact, if we just if we stay awake on guard all night, and we have a exhaustion the next day, 1 level, and what's the impact?
You have to sort of pass a Constitution saving throw. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's the. I gotta double check.
I just don't see Durbik sleeping this night.
Okay. Very well. Roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
17.
Okay. First night. So the first night the DC isn't too hard. I would say you don't suffer from exhaustion.
Unless I'm within 10 feet of Caliban, in which case it's a 21.
That's true. True. But you will wake up the next day and kind of get everybody moving. You can see that the cold has actually made some of them like not really want to move. They're like, oh, I'm okay here. It's fine. Like, and you have to try and convince them and shake them because they're kind of trying to basically go asleep and you don't think they'll wake up. But you set off again, but this time quite quickly in the morning. The winds pick up.
Circle the sleds.
And it gets
Close ranks.
really hard to see.
Is this one of those weird blizzards?
Roll a nature check.
I shall also do so.
15.
15 as well, actually.
Neither of you thinks it's a magical blizzard by any mean, but definitely you, Durbik, would share that they seem to be a little too many. It's more frequent than it should. It's definitely the worst winter there's ever been in living memory. But as you set off to make the final leg of your journey to Bryn Shander, I need you all to roll another survival check.
Okay, better. 14.
Cool.
8.
13.
Okay.
Natural 20 for a 28.
Okay.
Damn. God damn.
All right. I would say that counts as 2 successes. The DC was harder because of the blizzard. How am I going to do this? I'm going to say that Oreo's double success means that it's basically like resistance. Akeem, Caliban, and Durbik, roll a d4 to see how many people you've lost, and then divide that number by half. If it's lower than 1, then it's 0.
A D4 did you say?
1. So 3 halved to 1, right?
Round it up, so 2.
Balls.
So 1. 1 is 0.
Yeah. You roll the 1?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's only Caliban that loses people again. 2. But you reach the doors of Bryn Shander. And you finally, like, you almost come across, like, whoever was in front, Oreo would be, like, you almost just step out and, like, suddenly there's the palisade wall there out of nowhere because of just how much snow there's in the way. And you shout and you run back and to sort of get everyone to sort of double time, and the doors open for you and you rushed in and you see people watching from the sides of the streets and out of the houses, and there's a little contingent of guards waiting for you to let you in, and they take you up into the heart of the city. What would you like to do?
Try and find somewhere warm. My fur is shivery.
I tried to find any like piece of wood or anything that I could find, and I'll cast a firebolt at it, just so people can huddle around and stay warm.
Very well. The guards sort of try to get people moving like further into the city, but quite quickly the captain of the guards arrives and greets you. And where is him?
Affected by the dragon, but is just got to now dealing with refugee crisis.
Yeah. That you can see that there's like a few kind of tents and little shanty kind of constructions that weren't there normally, and there's definitely more people around than you'd expect. We'll get into that in a second. But Sheriff Markham Southwell comes up to you and says, "Good morning. Please come. Duvessa would like a word. I suggest we take people into the town center. They can probably find some food at the market, and we'll organize a place for them to stay."
Thank you, Sheriff.
Very well. Would you
Might
like
put
to do
his
anything?
name- Can
Sorry?
you put his name in chat? Can you
Yes.
put his name in the
Yeah, I will.
I turn around to the to Utker and go, "Would you just make sure that they get there safely? We're going to quickly speak to the sheriff and the town speaker."
Very well. And sort of, she rounds up your guards and makes sure that the refugees sort of go to the market center.
And I whisper in her ear, and I say, "Just remember the cauldron." And I give her a wink.
Excellent. Funnily enough, you're kind of all going in the same direction because the town hall's right in the center. And Markham takes you, and it's a large sort of building with sort of multiple sort of kind of like an H, shaped like an H, if you know what I mean. There's like a bit connecting two large halls. And it's 2 or 3 stories depending on which side you're looking at. But he takes you in and takes you up to the first floor, which has an overhang over the bottom one, and it's made out of wood, and walks you straight into a large room with a very long table. And you gather this is where normally the town speakers would meet when there's a town speakers meeting. And at the head of the table you see Duvessa, who you've met before. Tier 4, please take a seat. I trust you've successfully managed to make the journey. I hope there was not too many losses.
Not too many.
It's a sad affair, but Salazar's told me you've managed to slay the dragon. That is great news, but it was quite a cost.
And looking back, the dragon was the easy part.
Indeed. Well,
Yes.
whatever we can do for you, we'll find you accommodation if you need it, food, provisions, whilst you're here. We are in your debt. Goodness knows what would have happened if you guys hadn't stopped it. Perhaps there would be no 10 towns left.
Well,
But
perhaps.
we're a little overflowing. We've had... One second. Nearly 400 people from Brynchander. From East Haven. And 25 people from Goodmead, and a few from Dugan's Hall, and several more from Caerdinaval and Caer Konig. So we're a little at capacity. So things are a little bit dire in terms of provisions. We had... Well, enough is a funny word to use, but they'll definitely run out quicker now. So any suggestions for how we can continue surviving are appreciated. But if there's anything I can do for you, please let me know.
I look to the group and go, well, a good night's rest and maybe some provisions for our intention is to try and stop this never-ending winter.
She takes it back. You think there's a way to do that?
Is Velen with us or not?
You didn't ask her to. No, she would try to keep a low profile, so...
We have information that leads us to suspect that we have a potential opportunity, and slim one, that we could stop this.
That is very good news. Whatever we can supply to do that, we don't have much, but if there's anything we can give you that would help you on this journey.
Thank you very much.
Do you have any very skilled carpenters?
I wouldn't say very skilled. If they were very skilled, they probably wouldn't stay here. But we have fair. What do you need built?
We're not 100% sure yet. Perhaps something repaired, but that's all I'll say.
Yeah. We will.
If you'll oh, sorry, go on.
So I say if we'll stay the night and we'll probably head out the first thing in the morning.
Just a slight question out of character, guys. I don't remember our interaction with Duvessa. Is this a trustworthy person? How do we feel about Duvessa in general?
Middling, as far as I remember. No
You guys
bad
didn't
vibes,
trust her very much at the beginning at least. You didn't seem to trust her very much. For whatever reason.
Don't think I was there then, so.
Actually, should we get her to build us an RV? Like an RV sled that we could
All right, so if you guys don't remember, she's quite young. A young woman, pretty good looking. Sort of with piercing eyes and sort of longish brown hair and wearing sort of very nice, well-trimmed sort of clothing that has white fur sort of around it. And Markham Southwell is a tall, very sort of dark skinned man with a beard, with a goatee just underneath his chin and a bald head, and just wearing very sort of military, kind of very plain captain of the guards clothes. She excuses herself, says, "If you'll excuse me, I have to organize accommodation and food for the newcomers."
Yes.
Very well, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll try to beckon the others into somewhere where we can speak in private.
Okay. You go off in a sort of a little side room that looks to be open on the corridor that took you to the town speaker's room.
If we get someone who knows their way around a hammer, maybe we can even fix that ship.
I think from Utka's description, when I discussed it with her, it's stuck in the ice. I don't think we can actually move it out of the ice.
I look at Akeem. You gonna stand there and take that, Akeem?
I've had a lot over the last few days. I'm not sure. I'm not in the mood for it.
It's ice. Fire's mortal enemy. I'm just saying.
But in the heavy frozen sea, it'll refreeze almost as quickly as you can melt it. So by the time you got all the way around the hull, I think that the ability to loosen the thing without damaging the hull is probably a challenge.
I think you're underestimating my power.
I'm happy to make a bet on it.
Tell you what. I got nothing to bet with.
All right, so we want to go to the Dark Duchess next. Yes?
Okay. So I would assume you go have you go out and look for Velen. How do you organize yourself for the evening? Okay.
Go find
So,
them.
do we want to try bring someone who can maybe fix a ship, or are we just not going to try to fix the ship?
I think it's going to be too difficult. I think the only thing we could do is, out of character, I think the only thing we could do is theoretically take people with us to find supplies, and then come back. Then they can come back with the supplies at the Dark Duchess.
Mm.
But otherwise, I think it's a.
Things would be much simpler if we had something that could hold a lot of things. Wouldn't need as many laborers to protect.
True.
Yes.
What do you suggest?
Maybe Salazar can make something for us. Perhaps not for this mission, but for future reference.
Yes, but as we know, things are short in supply here, so I don't know if he can make magical items. We can ask him.
Perhaps we just have to see, this is part of the problem. If there is a good amount of supplies in that ship, how are we going to get out of there? Unless we do it on the ship.
No. I mean, take a team with us that can take the stuff back to Brinchanda. Strip the ship.
It'd be tricky to keep them safe, but I'm up for the challenge.
We can ask.
Get also
Yeah, I like-
people who know their way around woodwork, just in case the ship happens to be salvageable. We're going to kick ourselves in the teeth if we figure out that it's salvageable, and we don't have the people who know how to do it.
But that means we'd have to take wood there.
Not necessarily. We may be able to scrounge bits and bobs.
It's how far is it from here to the Dark Duchess?
It's about 2 days worth of travel, I think, if I remember correctly.
There'll be trees along the shoreline.
I
No.
don't
No,
think
or
so.
Durbeck would be like, nah, there's no trees along the sea of moving ice. It's literally frozen sea. Like if it was like really, really hot, 90% of that coast wouldn't exist. It's literally just iceberg.
I say it's worth recruiting a team that would know how to
Yeah.
right a ship if the opportunity presented itself. And if it doesn't, then we still have the labor.
Let us ask Duvessa tomorrow if they will find a team to go with us.
Get volunteers who can help us bring supplies back who have some woodworking shipwright experience.
A
Good.
wise plan.
Okay.
If we pull this off, I am buying a captain's hat.
Big floppy one.
Exactly.
Don't worry, Caliban. If you pull this off, I'll buy you a captain's hat and a captain's cap.
I will hold you to that. So, we
So-
long rest again?
Sure. As you go outside, you find Velen, who sort of takes you aside and shows you that she's managed to basically find accommodation, a private house, if you want to join her.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I say we shall leave in the morning.
Very well. Fantastic.
We might try. We suggest that we try the Dark Duchess first. We'll see if Duvessa
Indeed, if we find the supplies there, it could be useful on the journey.
and also maybe take a team with us to see if there's supplies that can be brought back. But I'm not sure if I'm not sure that Duvessa will risk the men. The manpower, should I say, or person power, to be politically correct.
One can but ask. I would say it'll be harder to defend more people.
Yes, well,
But let us
I
rest and
think
see
no
what
more
happens.
than 3. No more than 3 additional people sounds manageable.
yes.
Okay. All right. So let's sort of fast forward. This is kind of admin stuff. You can have a long rest, and in the morning, Duvessa would be happy to spare 3 carpenters to go with you if you have somewhere to put them. I guess you have 2 sleds. Each can fit 6 people if you squeeze them tightly. I guess you also have Trailblazer. They're each being driven by 3 kobolds that are coming with you.
Oh,
So that counts as that counts as 1 driver when they're standing on top of each other's shoulders. Those are
Do we, is there like a larger sled that we can maybe...
these are pretty large. That's like they're already like
Okay, fine.
yeah.
Trailblazer can fit a second person as long as you don't travel too quickly.
So I would say the 3 people you can fit.
3 people on Trailblazer?
No, 3 people on the sleds.
Okay.
If you're on Trailblazer, you
Okay.
guys are on one with Velen. The other,
Okay.
it's got room for stuff on it.
Velen can,
There's a bit of supplies as well.
Velen can ride with me on Trailblazer.
And to be able, you're given, I would say, to be able to fit with the extra people as well, you have 1 week's worth of rations for yourselves and for the dogs with you. So keep track of that because it will run out.
I am sure we'll get attacked along the way and we'll just eat whatever attacks us, as long as it's not undead. At this point,
Alright.
I will eat orc. I am beyond caring.
But you're going straight to the ship?
Basically?
Basically?
Yep.
Okay.
Just
You set
before
off-
I go, I say goodbye to Utka.
Okay.
Utka.
Good luck. Try not to die. I'm growing fond of you guys.
Oh, actually, just before we go, can I see if there's a lance available in town?
I would say, well, any weapon from the like that's available when you're starting out as an inventory to choose, you can have that. Whatever.
Yeah, no, a lance is not available, I think, in the starting.
Are we thinking we're coming back to town after the ship, or are we thinking we're heading straight on?
Straight on to Anger Chuk's bell, yeah.
So just quickly, I don't want to take up too much time, but check in with Nora, see if she wants to come with us, if she's reconsidered her thinking, or if she's going to stay here, or if she's going to head off to the Dwarven Valley. I'd just like to keep track of where she is.
Yes, it is.
She has been thinking about it. Roll another persuasion check with advantage to see if you push her over the edge to come with.
14.
Okay, I'll say that like she's a little bit wary and says, "Look, no promises, but I'll give this a try."
All I can ask.
Yes, I have a lance now, which does 1d12, and I can wield one-handed whilst I'm mounted.
All right.
To the ship.
To the ship.
You set off with the dogs and
To the ship. In true Kirk fashion.
You, I'm guessing, skirt past Targos without stopping by.
Yeah, probably, I think.
And through to Bremen, where you, I'll just say you stay off for an additional night because it takes a few hours to get all the way across. And you set off in the morning, off into the Chunder. And I believe the first roll of the day was a keen, because alphabetically. So we'll see which encounters you got. But as you leave Bremen and you leave the lake and the towns behind you, you see an increasingly sparse and an increasingly flat landscape. The mountainous terrain gets flatter and flatter. The trees that are occasionally propping up disappear and become sparser and sparser until it's basically a desert of white. But you keep moving forward with relative ease. It's a relatively nice day. It's not sort of a blizzard. The wind is cold, but it's not strong. And sort of towards the end of the afternoon, as you are kind of getting to the point where you're thinking about stopping for an evening's rest, you see a small group of humanoids in the distance, just a little sort of trail of little black dots kind of dragging something.
Spyglass.
Roll a perception check.
No! 7.
7? They look like, you can't quite tell, but they're wearing furs and they're dragging like a kind of like a sled behind them, but it's like a human one, not one carried by dogs, like a transporting thing. There seems to be something large on it.
I'll alert everybody to this.
How are they going across us, towards us, away from us?
So if you're coming up from the bottom towards the sea of moving ice, they're kind of going this way,
Okay.
like away from you into the heart of Icewind Dale.
And will we cross them, or will we get to them, or catch them up, or would they? Just
You will
pass
be within viewing distance, but far enough that if neither of you wants to meet up, you don't have to. Basically, you will probably recognize what they are as you get closer.
I want to find.
Sorry.
I want to find out what these guys are up to. We don't need more nefarious people preying on the refugees. Maybe they're bringing help, in which case we'll be comforted.
Shall we go and have a look at them then?
Yeah.
You tell the kobolds to keep going. They're like, sir, and they spur on the dogs, and you keep going. And as you get closer, you all recognize them as dwarves, and they seem to be basically dragging a large kind of sort of a piece of wood that's barely a sled with what looks to be a few dead seals and a lot of fish. And they kind of like notice you for the first time, and look and kind of see Nora and Durbik, and they kind of warm up a little bit, and he goes, aye, aye, and they keep dragging.
Where are you off to?
Oh, and they kind of stop for a second. Back to the Dwarven Valleys. Bringing food, supplies.
Good haul. Was it
What-
terribly difficult to acquire?
Took a better part of a week. It's getting harder. The ice is closing in. There's less places to go out.
What news from the valley?
Well, we haven't been there in a week, but as far as we know, everything was fine when we left. And they sort of recognize Nora. Oh, Mistress! Like, and they kind of bow, and one of them kind of takes out his little holy symbols and gives it a little kiss. He's all good, all good. We're off on an important mission. Nothing to worry about.
I'll ask the dwarves, anything we could stand to know from the coast? Sightings that you came across? Strange sounds? Anything to that effect?
They do know some stuff.
Just in case they're like, oh yeah, there's a Leviathan.
Oh, there's
And
a
sort of-
craft.
One of them turns around and says, Dark, any news, anything worth knowing? And they tell you... Where is it gone?
The Kraken.
And it just says, well, I'd be careful. There's been quite a few peritons swooping down from the mountain to hunt. You don't want to be grabbed by one of them, taken to their nest. It's a slow death, from what I hear of it.
I know what a periton is. Does Caliban know?
No, you wouldn't. But Durbik might know. Actually, Durbik would definitely know.
Okay.
There's good eating on Periton.
Good to know. Thank you for the warning.
There's definitely foul things around, and it's the worst winter we've seen. And we've been here a while.
Does Nora actually know these guys? Are they somebody we can use to relay a message back to the?
She doesn't know them personally. They don't actually stay at the Dwarven Valley. They kind of bring food back. They're kind of on their own. They're not part of the clan, but they do commerce. So they're fishermen and hunters that live kind of on the sea of moving ice. Basically, that's their job.
I was thinking it might be well to advise the Dane that we've broken the Dwergar threat.
That's a good idea.
Right, and our undertaking. Cool. Yeah,
and maybe tell him to go take out Sunblight.
Nora gives them a few coins from her own sort of purse, like presses them into their hand, and also gives them a little trinket, like a little brooch that she has, and puts it in their hand and says, give this to my uncle, and he'll know that you've met me. And please, as these gentlemen say, let him know that the threat has been taken care of, and basically all the other things that you guys want the Dane to know. These guys will deliver the message.
Very good.
All right, then on to the Dark Duchess.
Cool. You guys hanker down for the night and set off again in the next morning. And I'm gonna leave that. Yep. 1 second. Okay, what's the time? Yeah, we can do this. Cool. And as you kind of arrive slowly towards the edge of the sea of moving ice, Akeem, Caliban, and Oreo, you see it for the very first time in your lives, and you understand. It is just an expanse of white and dark blue, floating like in the dark gray kind of twilight that is permanently the state of things here. But you see it expand out and kind of flat with a few mountainous kind of icebergs as well, but mostly just this flat expanse going out into nothingness.
Waterdeep would have never gotten cold enough to create something like this, would it?
Nothing even close like this. You might have seen a little bit of ice in the water, but this is just like being there in a documentary with Richard Attenborough showing like, you know, the decline of the icebergs kind of
Yeah.
thing. And looking out, you see a few like things out in the parts where you can see a little bit of water. You see a few sea creatures, like just the tail of what you assume is a whale of some kind, or an orca or something, and just a few spluttering of fish and seagulls and things. But otherwise, it's just deadly silent and just windy. And you reach the very, very edge of where the actual sort of free-floating flows of ice are. And you can see that it's very difficult to cross with the dog sleds. You kind of have to go on foot, and sometimes you might have to hop or, you know, use ropes to go from one to the next to the other. But ahead of you, the white, smooth surface is interrupted by a towering ship in the distance, covered completely in frost that you can make out because it's a very clear day. It is a little while off, but you can see it. And let me grab it because I forgot to put it in the pictures. It's too cool not to put in the pictures. Where is it gone?
I turn to Akeem and go, maybe a little harder than you thought to take it out of the ice.
I sheepishly go, yeah.
That sounds like players talk to me, Akeem.
I'm just give me a minute, okay?
I laugh in a friendly manner, not in a horrible way.
Yeah.
I think I need to go to the mixer to actually show you the ship. 1 sec.
And I go, and Oria's like, I'm not so sure about this.
Can you see it?
Oh, that's fine. That's not that spiced
Ah,
up.
I'll just fireball the whole thing.
It's probably cold enough that it wouldn't do that much damage.
Like, I would destroy the ship too.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like,
Was that
well, I freed it from the ice.
I'm thinking more carve a path with flaming sphere.
It is. Well, the problem is that where you assume you might be able to put it back in the water is maybe a mile away,
Yeah.
further into the ice.
Is that a big gaping hole in the deck, in the main deck, or is that the shadow?
Well, from what you can see from where you are at the moment, far away, you don't know what conditions in. All you see is a dark shape out into the water.
Let's go.
All right.
So we can't get to the Dark Duchess with the sleds.
No.
Can we take the dogs?
It will slow you down, but I guess you could carry them. You'd have to manually sort of bring them across the difficult bits because they might not be able to jump, or go on a rope if you need to. You don't know if you'll have a smooth place or you'll have to leave them somewhere. Maybe.
Can I strap can I give Ario a length of rope and have him stand on my shield and trail behind Trailblazer, jet skis?
I wouldn't recommend bringing Trailblazer with you.
On the ice, yeah.
Oh, actually, so are there veins in the ice, like gaps? Water,
Imagine large platforms, some of them kind of connected, but also kind of suddenly going bloop, and there's like a gap that's 20 feet, 15, 20 feet, 5.
Okay, so in the water would not
And then
be...
creaking and smashing against each other.
On foot it is.
May I suggest that we initially leave the carpenters and the kobolds here with the dogs, and then
Velen as well, so she can protect them.
Yes, and then we'll go investigate the ship.
Tell Velen to throw up the dome just to be safe.
What do you think?
That's a very good idea, Mr. Caliban. She'll spend the 10 minutes to ritual cast the dome, and boop, little bubble appears. Everyone can fit in it. There's three of them plus the kobolds. Yeah, they'll fit inside the bubble, so they're protected.
Nice.
Let us go across the ice then.
Gentlemen.
Okay. You slowly make your way across, hopping. There's a couple of moments where you kind of try to step over, and one of the bergs just kind of goes and raises itself enough that you think you're going to fall through, but someone catches the other one's arm, and you kind of help each other slowly get across. And as you arrive to the edge of the ship, you see it. It's a very large sort of galleon type of ship, and it's covered in a thin layer of ice. It's been there quite a while, definitely a few weeks. But as you get close, you see it's very well stuck in the ice, and you don't know how deep the ice below goes, but it looks like it's basically been put on top of one of these large bergs, one of the larger ones. In the distance, you just see all this kind of bobbing and weaving as the ground is kind of like a waterbed moving up and down, and there's creaking and crashing and the sound of waves in the distance. When you get to the sort of close enough that you're about maybe 30 feet away, you can see that from the waterline of the vessel, where the waterline should be rather, it's a 10-foot climb to get to the main deck. But it looks very icy and slippery.
Otka said to announce ourselves, right? Use her name.
Yes, but let's not shout it out just yet. There might be other creatures aboard. We don't know who's aboard.
Very well. Are there any portcullises, any ways to peer inside?
You have to get to the waterline. You have to get to the. There's a 10-foot climb to where you can probably look inside portholes.
I'll do that. I got the pick, so ping.
Okay.
You
have climbing gear. Yeah.
Can I climb up the side and get onto the deck?
You have a look, and even with your claws, it looks like it would be dangerous to do without climbing gear.
Okay, I'd do it with climbing gear then.
Yeah, I will as well.
As you approach and try to kind of start putting ropes and like pitons and kind of get yourselves up onto the side of the ship, you hear loud thumping and creaking from inside the hold, followed by the guttural snarls of some creature. It's not as abandoned as it appeared.
Maybe I should have just fireballed the whole thing.
Can I... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Oria.
Go on.
Can I see inside?
Are you climbing up?
Board? Yeah, I'm climbing up
Okay.
as well.
You get up and you look into the side. I would say 1 second. Let me see. What would you see?
I'm not climbing. I'm standing back and keeping watch and have the hammer ready to throw and blah blah blah. In case something comes out.
Yeah, it's very dark inside. The extent of your dark vision that you can see from where you are, you just see a lot of ice, a few dinghies, and this looks like it's in the hold. You're looking into the hold, and there's just a faint, weird sort of death smell, but you can't really see any creature or anything like that from where you are.
I'll throw up a divine sense, which will make any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of what I can see, like glow or like to ping.
Nothing triggers.
Whatever it is, it's of this world, I say, and I will try to climb onto the deck and throw a rope down to the others.
As you hop onto the deck and begin to sort of feed a rope down, what you see is that the wooden boards on the main deck are cracked from the frost. A large hole in the deck exposes a part of the hold to the sky. The planks around the hole are marred with deep grooves, as if heavy claws had dug into them.
How big are the claws, can I tell?
Roll a nature check.
So the natural 17 for a total of 18.
Did I say survival check?
You said nature, but
right.
the answer is the same, I think. So
how much, sorry?
as well. The answer would be the same, 18 for either nature or survival.
And what was the number, sorry?
18.
18. Yes. With that roll, you can tell that it was a very large creature, and you're pretty sure it was a dragon.
Okay. I think I peed a little.
The others climb up as you're kind of taking stock of the situation and looking around and seeing that there's an aft set of cabins and both on the sort of the bow and the prow of the ship. There's sort of a set of cabins sort of with stairs going up and doors to go in to both the castle and underneath. Yeah.
Do the creature growls we heard sound anything like baby dragons? Because we know what baby dragons sound like.
No, it wouldn't sound the same as what you remember.
Okay. I point to the thing. A dragon definitely did this.
Yes. Shall we announce ourselves now?
Very well. I'll use thaumaturgy to announce ourselves. I'll mention Chinutka's name.
Loudly?
Not like... yeah.
So you're shouting out? Okay.
That's what she said to do, isn't it? Just before...
She just said, if you meet... Well, fine.
Oh,
if you meet the captain to announce who you are...
Okay, in that case, no, I'm not going to announce who I am. I'm going to shield up and creep quietly and quickly.
So, as you see, so the hold... Sorry, the deck of the ship is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... It's about 40 foot wide, and the ship itself is... 18 times 5 is 15. Well, let's say 100 feet sort of long, the ship. There's a huge hole that is probably 40 foot by 40 foot. There's a dinghy, there's a mast, there's 2 stairs going up to the castle that's in front of the ship. And underneath the stair is actually doors, 1 door leading somewhere. And on the rear of the ship, there's another castle where the wheel is, and with stairs going up, and there's also a door there. There's also a set of stairs right sort of in front of you that you can see that go down into the hold as well.
Yeah.
I'd go to the door at the aft of the ship, the rear of the ship, and listen at the door.
Okay.
I'll follow.
Roll a perception check.
19.
You don't hear anything.
Check the door to see if it's locked. Okay.
It opens.
I sniff in, see if there's I smell anything in the corridor or the room beyond.
Okay. You don't smell anything except sort of maybe stale booze. It's kind of cold. And just a faint smell that reminds you of death.
Caliban, do you want to wait here for the others, and then I'll sneak in and see if anything's going on?
I don't like the thought of you being on your own if something goes badly.
Well, I can run, basically.
Make sure to run fast, and I will resume helping everyone else up. Wait, we're all up now.
You're all up, wandering on the deck.
I thought you were waiting for everyone. Sorry. I'll sneak down the corridor.
Okay. Well, no. At the rear of the ship, it's not a corridor. When you open and have a look inside, it's a cabin, a spacious cabin actually, and frost is covering every surface and furnishing. And against the port side wall is a heavy chest, tucked in an alcove under a staircase, and upon it is what looks like a beautiful coat, like just sort of draped across it. The floor is strewn with empty wine bottles.
I roll. Can I investigate everything? I'll investigate.
I'll cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Does Detect Magic work through objects? Or not? Doesn't?
No.
Okay.
No. But it is up for 10 minutes, so I'll just be over Oreo's shoulder as he investigates, and I'll point out anything to him that.
I'll start investigating the room.
Okay. Are you guys staying outside, or are you following inside with Oreo and Akeem and Durbik? What are you guys up to?
I'm gonna follow in.
Okay.
I think I might stay at the door and keep watch on the deck. What do you guys think? Do you want me in there or out?
To stay on the rear.
A lookout would be
rear guard.
helpful.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Okay. So on the inside, you find, it's a beautiful cabin. There's a bed, there's a large table, sort of with desk drawers and things. The chest that you have a look at is completely frozen shut. And it's just solid ice and frost, sort of just locking it still. The coat that is over it is quite a beautiful coat, clearly the mark of sort of like a wealthy gentleman. And it's got a little badge that seems a curious symbol, a red eel wrapped around a gold trident.
Any criminal organization or any organization Caliban might have heard of?
Roll a history check.
Natural 1.
You're not sure.
I toss the coat to Oreo. Too rich for my blood. Will look better on you anyway.
I think it's more a coat for a royalty, and I pass it to Akeem. Sorry, you're muted, Akeem.
Muted.
I burn it.
Burn it. As it burns, 1 second.
Caliban cries a little.
All that's left is the badge, the little badge that was because it was made out of metal. It's a little bit singed, but it sort of falls to the ground, as well as a key that was inside the jacket's pocket, with the head of the key is fashioned in the form of a rat's skull.
And I pick those up and go, these I will take.
I think we might need the key for the chest.
Agreed.
The wine bottles on the if you're inspecting everything, the wine bottles on the floor are labeled with sweet berry summer wine.
Ooh.
And there's a portrait of what looks to be a man wearing that coat, except it's not a man. It's a tiefling with purple skin and sort of a very gentlemanly look and a little goatee. And on his desk is, behind the portrait, nothing.
Damn it.
By the way, I've just given the keys to Oreo.
On the desk you find a journal.
Read the journal.
Okay, roll
Magic.
sort of investigation check.
Detect magic. We should investigate first.
Well, I'm
21.
6.
So you flip through the journal's quite long. There's lots of entries, but between the two of you, kind of try and flip through and trying to find relevant information, and you gather that this was Captain Blue Moon, Rudolph Blue Moon's ship, the Dark Duchess. The chronicles, basically his day-to-day and business kind of dealings, but there's very little to kind of give you a good sense about the man. But once you see the name, everyone roll a history check.
Ooh, natural 20 for a 26.
Ooh, 22, sucker.
15.
15? All right, Durbik?
I'm still out on the deck.
Cool. So all of you inside have heard of Captain Blue Moon. And from the reputation that you know him of, was that he was a cruel and cunning individual that ruled his ship through fear. And he had many enemies and few friends. That's what at least when you're trying to kind of swap stories about it, that's what you all seem to agree on. You'd heard the rumor of, but you never met the man, and you never really met anyone that met him personally. These are kind of
the rumors. Yeah.
Sorry. The final entry in the journal reads, "That damned white dragon is back, circling above me like a vulture. I reckon she could carry this ship back to Luskin if she were mine to. To die of starvation, bitter cold, or dragon. Choices, choices."
I have a feeling he's still in here somewhere.
That's probably true.
My detect magic won't last too long. We should look for things.
Okay, I try to open the chest.
It is completely frozen shut. You can't seem to open it.
Try and
Firebolt.
Oh, I'm already on it. Just even before he turns to me, there's already a firebolt being sent to the...
You quite quickly melt it, and use the key to open it, and it does fit. It is the key for this chest, and it opens.
Welcome.
And inside the chest is a wooden partition that divides the interior into two halves. One side is empty except for a dozen wine-stained corks, and the other side contains 150 gold pieces, 520 silver pieces, a small gold bracelet, a large gold bracelet, and a grey bag of tricks. I probably shouldn't have told you that. That lights up magically. Shouldn't have told you what it was. The small gold bracelet is 25 gold pieces. The large gold bracelet is 250 gold pieces.
I hand the bag of tricks to Arya. You know what, Arya? You should probably just hold on to all of this.
Oh, okay. Very good.
You're more learned than I am.
I have already one grey bag of tricks. How about who would like the second one?
If you don't want it, I'll take it. Oh no, Durbek, you should have it.
Akeem, you're muted.
Durbek's outside the door, but if he's coming
I
back
was
in...
gonna say, maybe Durbek would appreciate this.
Yes.
You're within hearing range, so... But Nora, by the way, will be out with you, patrolling.
Yeah.
I'll just shout out to Durbek, do you want some bag of tricks?
I can carry it if you like, Akeem, or you can keep it. Either way. I'm frequently bashing right up in enemy's face, bashing them, and the bag of tricks might fit better for standing back and throwing things. But I'm happy to take it.
See, I turn around and look at the other two to be like, I just set things on fire. I have no need for this.
Okay, I'll take it. That's fine.
So,
Oreo.
Yeah.
With your passive investigation, there's something familiar about the captain.
The dates in the journal, how long, can we tell how long the ship's been here?
Yes. A few months.
Okay.
Maybe 2 or 3 months.
What do I notice that's familiar? Go up to the portrait and look at the portrait
Just
in more detail.
seems like there's something familiar about the face, like almost like you recognize him, but you know that you haven't met this guy before.
Can I...
Those, Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I go... Do you... I pointed to the guys. Do you recognize... The face looks familiar. Have we met this face before?
Was he among the tieflings at, that castle?
I don't know. Unless... Do you think...
DM, was he among the tieflings at the castle?
Roll a history check. If you're actually no, you would remember that. No.
Okay.
Rudolph Blue Moon, Bill. I look carefully at the thing.
quite quiet.
I sort of stare at it.
Does he
Right.
look like a certain other tiefling we are friends with?
Roll an intelligence check.
That's a yes. Natural 19, 20, modified 20.
He really reminds you of Zaxa.
Oh.
maybe Zuxa was a dude all along.
Caliban, goes to say something, but just yes, Akeem, that is the revelation here.
I did not know Duck so well, but I look at her and go, maybe her father? Maybe that's what she was running from?
That.
How old does this guy look in the painting?
I don't know, mid-40s maybe, something like that.
Father or very late brother.
Yes.
Akeem, now that we're up close and personal, any idea on if you have the power to thaw this motherfucker?
I don't know, but I can try.
Sorry, Thor what?
The ship.
The whole ship?
Oh, it's gonna be too big, isn't it?
It's going to
how
be
big? How big is the ship?
It's gonna refreeze. I mean, before we can move it, it's going to refreeze.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay. All right.
Fireball can do a lot.
Including destroy the ship.
I was thinking flaming sphere more.
Let's get the goods out, and then if you want to play with it, then fine.
Reasonable.
You've only explored the captain's cabin so far.
Oh shit. Okay.
Down into the hold.
Detect magic won't last forever, so yeah, down into the hold.
What's in the
Speed run.
There are cabins in the front, right?
Yes, as well.
Should we go check it?
Yeah, may as well do those first.
Yep. Front cabins.
You
Left-hand one first. Always left.
skip round the large gaping hole into the hold and go round to the door, and it opens up onto a corridor in which you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 doors.
First left.
All right, first
One
left.
for each of us.
One for each of us, all at the same time. Bang. Yes.
Open. Shit! I've got the dragon.
Maybe I should open the door, Ario.
Well, be my guest, Caliban. And I pointed.
Just so, if someone's gonna get hurt, at least it's me. And then I open the door.
Cool. So the door on the left, you open it, and it says it's a narrow cabin, but it's quite nice. The shelves and containers are scattered on the floor. Someone's rummaged through here clearly, but it looks like they might not have had an occupant for a while.
I get anything from detect magic?
No.
Okay, I'll try the next door.
And I'll investigate while you check the next one. Okay. So I'll investigate the room. Trey?
Okay, so this
I thought it
room.
was ransacked.
Roll an investigation check.
It's going to be 22.
Okay. You find a few small personal effects, nothing crazy, but you gather that this room might have belonged to a young girl at some point.
Okay. Zax's room, perhaps.
And you open, as you open the door on the other side, you see a frost-covered bed shoved into one corner under a wooden staircase. The rest of the cabin seems kind of empty, but there's not too much there. But I would say you would recognize that this is the first mate's cabin, just from sort of a few little details. And roll an investigation check.
16.
The size of the bed looks like it was big enough to fit at least a 6'5" person.
Goliath, most likely. Try the next door.
What about Utka?
Oh, good point. Try the next door.
Next door, D6. So this is as you open the door, a light breeze emerges from this room, and pieces of parchment and paper flutter on the floor. A large, detailed map of the Sword Coast takes up most of one wall.
Okay, investigation into this room. Anything from detect magic?
No.
Okay.
You find 2 useful maps: a 6-foot wide, 6-foot tall map of the Sword Coast, and a map of Icewind Dale stored in a map case that lies on the floor.
Anything
And,
drawn on
roll
the
an
map?
investigation check.
Modify 20.
A set of navigator's tools you also find.
Nice. Next room. I'm just gonna, bang, bang, bang.
All right. The foremost cabin holds 2 rime-covered barrels, lying next to which is a rat obviously perished from the cold. Mooring ropes and fishing nets hang from the hooks along the back wall.
Can I look at the barrels? Can I see if there's anything in them? Try and lift them up if they're empty, full.
They're full and they're kind of sealed shut, so you'd have to use a crowbar or something to open it.
Is there anything on the barrels to say what they are?
They're unmarked as far as you can tell.
Right, that might be supplies. I don't want to open them just yet. We'll roll them out at the end once we've cleared the ship.
Agreed.
All right.
Also, I might have a way to get them to shore quickly, but questions for later. I'll just keep going whilst detect magic is up. Speed run.
I think we're going to end tonight's episode there because there's there's no point looking at the bottom of the ship where you heard a loud noise because that would start things.
But have we cleared the cabins at the top of that floor then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All good. All right.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Whew, and there'll be some interesting stuff on the next episode. Let's just put it that way. Thanks everybody that's watching. Yeah, tune in next week as the guys they'll be very excited.